What's going on, guys? In today's video we're going to be playing with this queen bow deck. You'll see it here right now. I've been playing it the last few days. I have really enjoyed playing it. It's really super good in this meta for some reason. I guess obviously the monk is kind of out of the meta at this point, which definitely helps. But yeah, it's really fun to play. It's a very good deck, and it helped me get a really good win percentage, which if you guys stick around to the end of the video, you will see that. If not, you can skip to the end and see it. Up to you. But regardless, before we jump into things, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. I know I haven't posted in the past probably like 2 weeks or something. I've been really busy. Haven't really been playing the game too much. I kind of got burnt out for a little while there. But this deck kind of brought life back to the game for me and allowed me to have a lot of fun again. So I've been playing a lot here recently. If you guys do like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Clash Royale content. And with that being said, yeah, we're just gonna keep watching the game here, I guess. I did want to do this as a live commentary, but I was around other people while I was playing these games, so that didn't work out. I didn't want to commentate in front of them, but I did try it on the third game, but I had to be super quiet and it didn't turn out well, so you guys aren't going to hear any game sound in that third game. My apologies for that. But yeah, we'll talk about this deck a little bit here. You have the Knight, Archer Queen, Cannon, Rocket, Ice Spirit, Skellies, XBOW, I think, and Log. I think that's everything. I'm not sure who came up with this deck. I know it was in the meta for a while, kind of fell out, and it seems like it's back now. I know Aragon played it a lot. I'm not sure if he created it, but yeah. I'm not even like a phenomenal XBOW player, but I was able to pick this up and again get a really high win percentage on my way to Ultimate Champion. So yeah, you guys are going to see the 3 final games to get Ultimate Champion in this video, if you weren't already aware of that. But yeah, this guy here is playing a super weird deck. You think it would be Giant Graveyard with the Giant and the Bowler, but I don't think he has a win condition really. He's got a lot of spells and a Phoenix, Giant, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Bowler. So yeah, this one wasn't too bad. I couldn't allow the Giant to get on the tower, and I was pretty much good to go. I think I end up rocket cycling towards the end of the game. Right here, I overdefend the XBOW. When you play with Cannon, it's kind of hard to get any troop that they place on the farmost tile to lock onto your Cannon rather than the XBOW. Just kind of, the Cannon gets pushed over further than the Tesla would, if that made any sense at all. But yeah, that's why the Bowler targeted my XBOW instead. It didn't end up hurting us here because this guy again couldn't really pressure well because he didn't really have a win condition. I'm not sure about his deck, why he's playing it. But yeah, it's still pretty close here as we're coming up to about a minute left in the game. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I've been loving playing this deck. It's super fun. Obviously, it can be pretty dirty. If you can't get a lock, you just rocket cycle. But that's kind of how XBOW is. It's very matchup dependent. So if you can't get a lock, that's your second win condition. And that's why it's so good in this deck. I wouldn't recommend playing this with Fireball with Fireball. I think you kind of need the rocket to be able to win games with it. And as you see here, I'm starting the rocket cycle. I was down in damage up until I rocketed his tower there. We have 30 seconds left. He's going to do everything he can to try to get to my tower here. But again, he doesn't have a win condition, so it's extremely difficult for him. He probably needs to play a better deck that might help him. But we're probably going to chuck, I guess, one more rocket on his tower before the end of the game. Make sure that we can defend here. And that should be GG. I think he's going to BM a little bit here. He's a little upset. So I give him the thanks, as you do, and the goblin laugh. But yeah, that's the first game. So I think at this point we were 2 games off of Ultimate Champion. So we'll jump right into the next one here, up against Mi Nombre Es. So if I remember correctly, I think this guy was playing recruits. Horrible matchup. In my opinion, pretty much the worst matchup you can get with XBOW, just because obviously with recruits, they stay alive forever, and there's 7 of them, and they can block your XBOW for a very long period of time. So I think I ended up sneaking in a lock here at some point, which was pretty good. Also, he has Golden Knight, so the matchup couldn't really get much worse. But right here I get a lock. He places Flying Machine on my XBOW. I think he should have played a Ground Troop to not let me get that lock, because I get a very good damage advantage here with only a minute into the game. And then he lets my Queen lock onto the tower. I guess he thought she was going to die to the tower. She had literally the tiniest sliver of health left, so I can see where he might have thought that. But at this point, we're in the driver's seat for this game. All I have to do is defend for the rest of the game, which is easier said than done. Right here, it's kind of unfortunate. Never let more than one Zappy lock onto your tower, because this is what will happen. That Barb with 1 HP left gets 2 hits on my tower. These Zappies kind of go off on my tower. Even though they barely do any damage, their stun ability really just screws with the tower shooting at them. So I took 2,300 damage there. Felt like I was maybe going to choke this game, but all we have to do is log his tower at this point and defend, and we're good to go. So I knew he was going to go with the Flying Machine there. I wanted it to cross the bridge so that my tower could hit it, but that didn't end up happening, and he fireballed my Queen before I could get the ability off. So that was good on him. We did try to predict him, but it kind of worked, kind of didn't, because I didn't play it that well. Yeah, but as far as like tips go with this deck or anything, your cycle can get kind of cloggy just because you do have a rocket, you do have the cannon, a Queen. If you don't have your skeletons or your Ice Spirit in cycle, it's kind of tough to cycle a card. As far as starting plays, you can go Knight in the back first play, you can go Queen in the back first play. It's not ideal, but if they're not making a move, there's not really that much of a problem with it. Obviously, don't go XBOW first play, don't go Rocket first play. That's not really going to work out for you. Log, good first play. But yeah, overall, like I said, this deck's phenomenal in the meta. The one real deck that you're going to have trouble with is that one that I just played. I know there is one Recruits deck out right now that's really popular with Mighty Miner and Goblin Hut. That one's probably even worse, but I didn't face it too much. I got pretty lucky. So yeah, here's the final game for us to reach Ultimate Champion. So at this point, I was thinking this is probably going to be Golem, just because Bomber's only really used with Golem and E-Giant. And since he has E-Barbs, I know it's probably not E-Giant, because that would be a really weird deck if it was. He's also got a Skarmy, which is weird. So I wanted to kind of just test the waters here and see what exactly he was running. I thought it was Golem, but wanted to make sure. He does play his Golem high as well as a Bomber. He's not going to get any damage here. Now we both know each other's decks. I think he's played like 5 or 6 cards, so he's got a couple left to go. But yeah, the Golem does get death damage here, which I was not too excited about. We do get off to, 1,000 damage disadvantage here. So I was thinking I was going to go XBOW left lane with that Knight, but you definitely don't want to go same lane, especially as a beatdown player, especially when they get 1,000 damage early on in the game. So yeah, I went XBOW right side. Good timing because he plays his Queen, and my XBOW will take care of that. So I'm going to go with a Log and a Knight. Good timing on that, but he zaps, and the E-Barbs just shred my Knight. So I don't get a lock there. I'm assuming at this point we're probably pretty even on Elixir. I'm hoping, I'm praying he doesn't have a Night Witch. because that's also not a good matchup. If they have Night Witch, it makes it very tough, just because she's almost impossible to kill, as well as all the bats. So what I would recommend is just rocketing the Night Witch, especially if you can get some decent value with that rocket. But at this point, he goes with a golem in the back, so I drop my XBOW to try to get a lock. He goes with a Skarmy, and then a Night Witch too. So he played that in front, which worked out really well for me. She got taken care of. He plays a queen right next to his golem, so I get a very good value rocket there. And at this point, we've got a knight on the field, and I think, so we're about even on elixir here. He goes with E-barbs in the back. I thought I maybe was going to get a lock there, but the E-barb crosses the bridge, or goes in front of the tower before my XBOW locks on. We're going to log that Skarmy away, and he's back to golem. So at this point, I mean, I'm not really getting a lock. Nothing's necessarily happening. I'm thinking it's going to have to be a rocket cycle game. To be honest with you, I don't know exactly how the rest of the game went, but that wasn't good. That was very bad E-barbs there, and then a waste of a zap. So I've got my queen still alive, XBOW down. He drops the Skarmy late, so that's how I get the lock. I knew at this point I'm going to get the damage advantage. I'm going to be in a very good spot to win this game. I just have to keep defending. But with a Golem Night Witch deck, obviously that's easier said than done. Also, I wanted to say for bad matchups, there's a giant skelly clone deck going around. I guess it's always around at some points, but that deck is horrible to play against with a rocket. It's not fun unless you want to run Electro Spirit instead of Ice Spirit. So you can make that change out if you want. I really like the Ice Spirit. Ever since it got that buff, I think it's awesome in the meta. So I would recommend the Ice Spirit, but you can run E-Spirit if you prefer that. He almost gets an E-barb on the tower there. If my queen would have died to his zap, then he would have. So I got pretty lucky there. He would have taken, I guess we probably would have been even on damage at that point. So he's going to go with everything at the bridge there on the right side and build up an okay push on the left. I think if he just would have went all same lane, I mean, I guess I would have rocketed it, but I might have missed the rocket. So he probably should have tried that instead of going opposite lane. So at this point, we've got 30 seconds left. I've got a cannon on the field, queen on the field. So I'm going to rocket his tower. I know he can't go with a golem push again just because he doesn't have enough time left to pretty much get that down and to cross the bridge. So he's just spamming me here. I think he knows that he lost. So I'm going to throw one more rocket down. And we're actually going to win this by a lot of damage just because of those last two rockets. Like I said, you just get one good lock in some matchups, and then you got to rocket cycle the rest of the game. I feel like we played that pretty well. So at this point, that was the last game for us to reach Ultimate Champion. And at this point, I was pretty sure I was going to have a better win rate than the past two seasons. And boom, right there, 82% win rate. Super pumped about that with XBOW, with QueenBow. That just shows how good this deck is in the meta right now. If you guys did enjoy the video, I ask that you please leave a like and subscribe for more Clash Royale content. Love you guys. Peace.